Hey, what's up guys, and today is all about the DJI Action 3. Let's unbox this and talk about why this camera is so good. Let's get straight into the unboxing. So for starters, basically the reason why I brought the DJI Action 3, and it wasn't an easy choice at all, I must say. I was umming and ahhing for so long about which action camera to get, for like literal weeks. And I come to the conclusion I wanted the DJI Osmo Action 3. And I've mainly actually brought this camera for POV shots and just like cool, creative, everyday shots basically. So here's the action camera itself. And I was actually really wanted the DJI Action 2, even though I sold my GoPro, or I think it was out of the GoPro or the DJI Action 2. And basically I chose the GoPro because it was just a better camera overall. But what I hated about the GoPro was the mounting system. So to keep it short, I sold my GoPro, and the only reason why I brought one back is because I've actually been going on a lot more shoots now with work and also side jobs such as weddings, and I would love to get some POV shots. And one of the main reasons why I actually did buy the DJI Action 2 was its magnetic mount, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But first, I'll actually unbox some of the actual accessories. So here we actually have this, I'm not sure what mount this is to be fair. So this actually does look like a car mount, and this mount here is one of the main reasons why I did buy the DJI Action 3, is because it's just so quick and easy to change from different mounting points, such as a selfie stick, a car mount, a chest mount. It's literally within an instant, and I will show you that in a sec. We've got a cable here to charge the actual DJI Action camera itself, and then we've got the battery at the bottom as well. And this battery is actually really long lasting battery. I think they're saying you can get up to like 180 minutes of recording, but I think in about 4K 25 FPS you can aim to get like about over an hour, I think, before the SD card space actually runs out. So the SD card will probably most likely run out first before the actual battery, which is really nice. This as well, I didn't say, this is the protective case you actually get with it. But it's not just a protective case, because what it actually allows you to do is shoot vertically using the magnetic mount. So if you do want to get some vertical style shots for TikTok, Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, you can actually put this cage on and you can obviously mount it up vertically. Not just that, but obviously it does also just protect the camera overall, even though it is a very well built, rugged camera. I've seen Peter Lindgren on YouTube, if you haven't seen his channel. He literally ran over it with his truck and actually torched it on fire, and also basically made it go -40 and just froze it with this like freezing ice gun. And it was still recording, it was still going on the battery life, and it's working perfectly fine. So not sure if you really need a protective case on this, to be fair. Maybe for the lens, because the lens might get damaged. However, with the DJI Action 3, as you can see, as we'll get it out, it's actually got Tighten the Lens Protective on it. So basically you've got this rubber ring around the lens, and you can actually unscrew this off, and basically that actually protects the lens. So it's even got a lens protector on it as well, so it's even better. So it's one of the most well-built action cameras out there, and it's also obviously protecting the lens with it. So this cage will only really be useful, I think, in my opinion, for the actual vertical magnetic mount, which is obviously a really good feature to have. So let's first by actually taking off the cover, and there's the lens itself. It looks really nice. And here is the DJI Action 3. Looking amazing. And what I like actually about the DJI Action 3 is that they went back to the basic roots. So the DJI Action 1 was built the exact same way as this, and then they changed the DJI Action 2 to a modular design. And I actually thought that was really cool, and I really wanted the DJI Action 2, but I didn't go for it, and I went for the GoPro Hero 10 instead. I do regret it a little bit, because I think it was really awkward having to pull down the actual, you know, the little screws to actually go into this one, and then you actually have to screw it on all the time. I didn't like that at all. It was way too long for me. And like I said, I just didn't use it overall. But if I had maybe a more compact version like the DJI Action 2, I might have actually used it a little bit more. However, going back to this modular design, you get a much bigger touchscreen on the actual DJI Action 3 itself. You obviously get it's brought over the magnetic mounts from the DJI Action 2, which is again another reason why I really wanted the Action 3, is because of such a quick and easy magnetic mount. Instantly connects onto the actual mount, and all you have to do to take it off is press the 2 in, pull it out, and it's done. put it back on, and it's in and it's secure and it's really tight. It's not coming off unless you actually press them levers in. And even if you do press the actual 2 buttons in, it's still got a bit of resistance because the magnets are so strong. So you don't actually really have to worry about the DJI Action 3 flying off the magnetic mount at all. And I think this is the best thing DJI have actually done to their action camera, because like me, it's actually one of the main selling points for me, especially with the price as well. If you're actually looking to get the DJI Action 3, I'm pretty sure the GoPro Hero 11 brand new is around £400, and I think that actually might be, if you have to get the 1-year subscription, it actually might have to be like with the accessories and that, maybe £500. The DJI Action 3 is coming in on the standard combo, which is actually the combo I got, at £309. However, I was going to get the adventure combo, and the adventure combo is £400. And I actually think that's a really good deal, because in the adventure combo, you get 3 of these batteries. You also get 2 of the magnetic mounts. You get a selfie stick, and you also get a battery charging case. You're probably getting the best built action camera out there that can just last through anything. So if you're doing snow sports, it doesn't matter, because you can go to like minus 40 degrees Celsius and it will still be recording and the battery will not die, because this battery is actually built to last in the cold. You can also run it over, you can do so many different things with it, so you can bung this action camera around and it won't actually break, fingers crossed anyway, depends on how badly you actually do bang it around. But not only that, you get 4K 120 frames per second and a super wide field of view. You get horizon steady, so if you actually are holding the action camera like this and you move it a little bit to the left, it will still keep that horizon level locked. Not only that, it doesn't just have horizon steady, it also has horizon lock as well. So you can actually go a complete 360 degrees around with this camera and it will keep the horizon completely still and straight, like you've never touched it anywhere. However, with that mode, I do actually think you need to drop down to 2.7K, but still 2.7K is fine in my opinion. The 4K would be nice, but to be fair, that horizon lock was actually another main reason why I bought this action camera, because I've seen a lot of photographers out there who actually get POV shots using the GoPro Hero 10 or 11 with the max lens. And obviously you've got to buy the GoPro Hero 10 or 11 first, and then you've got to spend an extra £89 on the actual max lens. However, with this is already cheaper, way cheaper than the GoPro Hero 10 and 11, and it's also got horizon lock in, so you don't have to buy an extra lens for it, it's just built in. And basically the reason why I wanted that is because I wanted to mount my actual DJI Action 3 onto my camera, like wedding shoots, portrait shoots, anything like that. Whenever I go from horizontal to vertical, if I was using my phone, for example, the horizon normal, like 16:9, but as soon as I actually turn my camera to the left, and it obviously won't keep the horizon steady. However, with this, because it's got horizon lock, you can turn it completely around and it will still keep that horizon. So that's one reason why I really wanted this camera, because it will keep the horizon lock and it will still look really nice. So the magnetic mount and the horizon lock, they are 2 main reasons why I did actually buy the GoPro, the DJI Action 3. Again, moving back to some of the specs, it's got cold resistant and long lasting, like I mentioned earlier, with the unbelievable battery life. It's got a quick release of vertical mount, like I said here, so you can actually quickly release it onto magnetic mounts really quickly in vertical mode. It's also 16 meters waterproof, so you can actually take this 16 meters down below underwater and it will be absolutely fine. You do not need a water cage or anything with it. You can just go with this camera. One of the best things, I think, in my opinion, that no other action camera does, it has dual touchscreens. So you can do all your settings on this amazing big touchscreen on the back of the camera, but this front-facing camera as well on the DJI Action 1 and the GoPros, that's just a front-facing camera just to see yourself and frame yourself. However, on the DJI Action 3, it's actually a touchscreen as well, so you can access every single menu in this camera using the front screen. Now, this is really helpful for obviously if you're 1, vlogging yourself and you just want to make a quick change, but 2, if you've got it on a chest mount or you can't access the back screen. Obviously, once it's on your chest, you can just make your adjustments on the front screen. You don't have to take it off and then do it and then put it back on. So to obviously get this thing started, you have to put the battery in. So to do that, you just lift up and then pull down. You line up the batteries and then you just slide the battery in. And that is also where your micro SD card actually goes. So you just grab your SD card and you just slot it straight in, which if I can actually get it the right way. And there's the SD card ready to go. And then to power it on, obviously you press the power button and then it just boots up straight away. And then this is how you can actually access all of the actual menus. So you can check the battery level up here, 66%. And if you just swipe up, this is how you change the actual resolution and set the stabilization. So you can either have rock steady on, horizon balancing on, which is the 45-degree one. So if I start turning, it keeps it the same, or horizon steady. This is the resolution, so you can do 1080p all the way up to 240 frames per second. So super slow motion in 1080p. So I'm really intrigued to actually try this mode out. You can also go up to 2.7K in 16:9 up to 120 frames per second, 2.7K 4:3 up to 60 frames per second, so not 120 when you're in the 4:3, 4K 16:9 120 frames per second, and then 4K with 4:3 at 60 frames per second. So you can go all the way up to 4K, and in 16:9, that's how you can get up to 120 frames per second. And then what I love about the DJI Action 3 at the minute is just the super easy menus, and just how easy it actually is to navigate all of the menus and get to where you want to be. On the bottom right here as well is actually where you can choose your lens. So you can either go 1x, or you have to hold it 1x all the way up to 2x as well, so you can get that nice little zoomed in. And also if you are in 4K, obviously the more you zoom in, you'll still keep that nice quality. If you scroll down, this is where you can create the custom modes and also the quick section menu, so you can actually create your custom modes. So like you can have 4K 100 frames per second, 2.7K 100 frames per second, or 1080p at 240 frames per second. You can have up to 5 quick modes. And then what you do, if you actually press the power on button here, it says QS. So whenever you actually press that button, it will change to photo mode. And you can swipe over to video, and then your time lapse, and also your custom modes will be here as well. So you can just quickly change from either photo, video, custom 1, custom 2, custom 3 instantly. If you actually click this button here, this is where you can actually change to pro. This is where you can set your exposure manually. So if you actually click now from auto to M, this is where I can change my shutter speed on the left to whatever I want. So if I am going to be shooting in, let's say 120 frames per second or 100 frames per second, I need to be in 1/200th of a second, because that's like the shutter degree rule. And then obviously this is my ISO on the right here. So I can either change it to auto and it will do it automatically for me, or I can just set it to whatever I want, up to 12,800. So that's obviously a nice mode to have. So if I click confirm, I'm now in manual exposure. And then also if you actually click color, you can change it to color D-Cine-like or color normal. Now I actually think this should say 10-bit next to it, because now they've actually now released a firmware update where you can actually do D-Cine-like color in 10-bit. And basically D-Cine-like is a flat mode, so it's similar to log on normal cameras. So this way you can actually push the color grading a lot more in post, or you can just go into color normal as well. You can also change your white balance to whatever number you want. So if you go into manual, this is where you can actually change the Kelvin number. So obviously if you want to go real pro and just change all of the settings, you can with this camera. But you can also have voice control on here as well. So if you're actually completely hands-free and you've got a chest mount on, for example, you can shout DJI Action 3 or whatever it is, take photo, take video, change to 4K, and I think it will actually talk to you back and actually change the settings for you, so you don't actually have to use your hands all the time. So that's really helpful when you've got gloves on and you're out skiing and you want to just quickly say record and not waste any battery, or if you want to just say change to 1080p 240 frames per second, I'm pretty sure the DJI Action 3 will hear that and actually change the settings for you. And then this button here is enable full front display. And like I said earlier, this is dual touchscreen, so I can do all of the menus, but when you do actually touch it, you have to swipe up. So this is how you can access all your menus, and it's really similar to the DJI Action 2 screen as well. So it's not actually that bad at all. If you swipe up as well, again, look, this is where you can change all of your resolutions, 4K 16:9, 4K for 4:3, 2.7K, change the frame rate at the bottom. It's really simple and really easy to use as well. So it's just even better that you can do all of the menus from here, change to video, change to photo. You can access all your pro settings as well. Like I said, D-Cine-like, auto exposure, completely manual exposure it. You can do everything on the actual front touchscreen of this camera. And I've got to admit, I'm really, really impressed with the DJI Action 3 so far. Obviously, I've not used it at all yet. And in case you was wondering, this is what vlogging on the DJI Action 3 actually looks like. I'm using the internal microphone of the Action 3 in case you haven't got a mic like the DJI mic. So how do you think this sounds? Remember, I'm in a studio space with quite a small room as well, so it's not going to sound as bad as if you was in like a more echoey room or outside. But this is the overall look at it. I'm in 4K, 25 frames per second in 4:3, and that means I can crop either for 16:9 and also portrait a lot easier as well and a lot better. And let me know what you actually think. I'm in the standard color profile, I'm in auto exposure, auto white balance, everything is auto. This is the actual image coming straight out of DJI Action 3, and I'm in the wide mode as well. So what do you actually think of it? Do you think it looks good? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I can obviously get some more just POV shots with it, and not just POV shots as well. That is what I want to use it mainly for, because I like the horizon steady, but just overall creative shots. With the GoPro Hero 10, I didn't really try and get creative shots that much, because I just, honestly, it sounds bad, but it's actually not, because it was just time consuming. It's just constantly getting this thing, getting the actual thing, unscrewing it, pulling it off, putting it on something else, and just constantly doing that. And then once I've put the GoPro on, I have to screw it all in again. It was just, you have to match up the holes because they're not always not on properly, screw it on. That is just what I didn't really like about the GoPro Hero 10, and it just stopped me getting any creative shots at all really with it, because it was just, all I had it really was for a chest mount, and that's it. I just didn't really want to take it off. However, like I said, DJI Action 3 instantly connects really great as well with the actual magnets. You're not really have to worry about it falling off. It is brilliant. It's not going to come off, and that is what I absolutely love about the DJI Action 3. I got it for a really good price as well, so if you do want it, I will leave a link in the description below, because even at £309 for this, or £400 for the adventure combo, it is really great. I do think eventually I will get the battery charging case as well. However, I'm not needed right now because the battery life is so good on this, and I got it on a great deal. So I will leave the link in the description below, and if you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you did enjoy this video, you might actually like this video right here, where I actually unbox and talk about the new DJI mic. Because if you didn't know, if you actually bring this little section down here, this is where your USB cable is. And basically, if you plug in the USB cable on there, that's how you charge the battery. But it's also where you can actually plug in the transmitter for the DJI mic. So if you just plug the transmitter right in there, you can actually use the DJI mic and get really high quality audio while using the DJI Action 3. So if you do want to go watch that video and actually see why the DJI Action 3 is so good for professionals and creators, make sure you watch this video next.